Too many people obsess over other people's lives and less significance on their own. It's an avoidant tactic, and it's a way to justify mediocrity in their life, stagnation, bad decisions. So effectively, they see other people investing in themselves as a threat to their illusion of happiness. It's actually quite sad. Like personally, in my life, there's people I know follow what I do, but in a negative way. There's an obsession, there's an attachment, even though I'm not attached, I'm not obsessed to them. So I find that quite surreal, really. I outgrow situations because I'm always investing in myself. It's not at the detriment of other people, so it's not like a greed or spiteful agenda. It's literally an investment in my own goals. So I'm always just pushing forward, and I don't have time to sort of look around thinking, "Oh, what's this person doing? What's that person doing? What are they thinking of me?" I just don't care. It's just that it's an investment in my own journey, and I'm benefiting from that. I always have a long term view, not a short term. So most people, when you make a decision, will judge it, and it's not for them to judge, though, is it? I think that's the part, though, isn't it? It's like too many people think their opinion is more significant than it is. So they can people can have a gossip party about your life and your choices, but it's like it doesn't make no difference though, 'cause it's my life, not yours. So what difference does it make what people are gossiping about? So really, it should empower people to just follow your dreams, make decisions that you want to make. But it's always about understanding the consequences for every decision. But there's no point obsessing over other people's lives, though, because, like I said, it's just a way to validate to people really their limitations. It's just I've never understood that wishing for someone else's downfall or taking joy from other people's suffering and struggles. It's How does that elevate your life in any way? If it only validates your own stagnation, that's all it does. So what's the point of that? Why keep yourself stuck in misery, effectively a level of purgatory, because you're focusing so heavily on other people's lives, you don't invest in your own. It it doesn't correlate at all to me. So um, yeah, I have ambitions. Every year I have ambitions, and guess what? I always fulfill my ambitions. I always fulfill my ambitions because I hold myself accountable. So I have goals for this year, and I will meet those goals. Now, we don't always meet our financial goals because some things are outside of our control. But life isn't all about finances, and I always find it quite curious in my life, and I always find it amusing because I know what I can do. I do my books. I have a lot of multi skills. Maybe people don't realize my skills or realize that I'm quite good at what I do. It's not just a case of you can do all these different things. You're not very good at it. I'm actually quite good at what I do. But the point is, because of financial situations, people might look down at you because maybe your finances aren't very strong. So you don't have value from the material side of the world that they live on. But what happens when those roles shift and you do finally have wealth? Do they see it as a missed opportunity? Because the way I see it is, if anyone's considered it a missed opportunity, they only consider it a missed opportunity based on what they can gain. It wasn't a missed opportunity about who you are because they had the chance with you in the first place. So it's only a missed opportunity based on the missing out on finances. Well, that's not the sort of person you want in your life anyway, is it? But I think when you invest in yourself, I think other things naturally gravitate and attract anyway. I think it's almost like an inevitability if you continue on your path, that good things eventually come, especially if you're not doing it at the detriment of other people. So yeah, whilst my life sometimes it doesn't look favorable financially, I'm never wayward. I'm never like sway from what I believe is going to happen. Um, so yeah, I have big goals for the year. Sometimes I keep delaying them, but I have 12 months. We have 12 months to a year, so it doesn't matter. It's obviously good to be, I think, productive, be on time with things, but I think there's also time for ourselves as well to give ourselves time to relax. So I keep talking about my multiple manuscripts. I've got 3 books that could easily, well, I say easily, but each about 2 months of editing if I focus. So potential for 3 books in a year. It's not going to be 3 books in a year because I don't want to. I keep delaying the next book. So, but I am going to be working on it soon. I know I keep saying that, but I'm starting to feel energized to get on with it. So that means by the summer it'll come out. I know I keep delaying that, but it's like I don't care because as long as it's out this year, I just don't care. It could come out the last day of the year for all I care, as long as I achieve my goal for the year. As you've seen in the image there, I mean, There's 4 there, plus the 2 others I have, so I've got 6 books. So it's not the be all end all that it comes out today, you know. Um, but I have different goals throughout the year, and one I've added into my list because I don't want to keep delaying it is I'm going to apply for Irish citizenship, so I can have a dual citizenship for England, UK, and Ireland. And Ireland then gives me the benefit of Europe as well, so I think that's really useful, even if you're just holidaying. I haven't gone into the deeper details, but if you go on holiday, for instance, I think you've got to pay a travel visa fee. I'm not sure how much that is. And of course, then when you go through customs, there's a long queue of non-EU nationals sort of thing. So if you've got an EU passport, of course, it's going to help you go through, even just get through the airport quicker. And it gives you options, of course. And it's something I do want to get established because if I'm entitled to it, through my connection to Ireland from my grandparents, I think it's just important that, you know, I think it's important you honour your ancestry as well. So yeah, that's something I want to take care of this year. It's not expensive. I think it's about £250 for the application fee for citizenship, and then maybe about £80 for the passport, something like that. So within £500, I think it's worth the hassle. The admin, a little bit complicated because they do ask a few questions in terms of like what the connection and things. And I got a bit. I thought it was just the connection to my grandfather, but then all of a sudden, I think one of the application forms wanted his mother's maiden name and things. I'm like, I don't have a clue about any of this. So that's a bit of an issue, but I'll figure it out. So that's a little bit of a goal of mine this year. And again, these are little things that add up throughout our life. You know, you take care of that, all of a sudden it opens up the rest of your life for other opportunities. But if we don't sort of like take action when we can, we're just delaying potential in the future, you know. So yeah, I'm quite pragmatic though. Like this year, I'm decided finance is a huge key for me this year. Like normally I don't care. So people see I'm quite ambivalent about certain things. I'm not a materialistic person, but we all have desires. And I think when you've suffered long enough, it becomes a bit of a bane of contention. So like I said, people may judge me based on my poor finances, but then they're going to lose their mind when my finances improve, aren't they? And it's like, again, that's only because of an obsession towards my life rather than their own. Just uplift your own life. You know, I give the tools for my books to help people improve their life. It's not for people to obsess over me. I don't ask for that. But maybe there's a curiosity, I think. Curiosity is different. Obsession isn't, you know, so it's just, some people just got a really negative approach to things. That's what it is. So they get so weirdly attached to hoping for a negative outcome. It's like, I don't know how that benefits your life. I really don't. It's sad. And I think people will end up having regrets one day from that approach. One thing I want to say, there was someone who I considered a soulmate, and I think on a different timeline, it would have things could have been different. And this isn't me, like my head in the clouds, over exaggerating something. I knew the connection. It hasn't happened. It's not going to happen in this timeline now. But I think in another timeline, it could have happened. But my point is, I am patient with the right people, and when I give my heart, I give it. But the reality is, if I can let that person go, then what do people think I can let go if they're not that significant in my life? You know, so my attachment to people is only really to how much value I put upon them in my life. Otherwise, I'm happy I'm happy to go alone like a lone wolf. I do a lot my own, you know. But yeah, this person, I felt there was potential for marriage one day. And I've waited and waited. Like we first connected in 2021. It's a long distance situation, different countries. And unfortunately, just things get in the way. You know, I just felt the potential was there for it. I don't want to go too deep and dig because I don't want it to become something where I'm pointing out all the situations and it becomes like a dig at them when it's not a dig at them. It's just a reflection of there's a mirage of reasons as to why it can't happen. And it's like making peace with that. And it's like, yeah, for 4 years, I've really been like certain this is my person. It's like, and everything else gets put on hold, you know. But now I've let that go. So if I can let that go, then I can I can get a lot of things go. So so that's where people need to realize when they need to check themselves a little bit. Now, this isn't just about my life because this will happen in other people's lives. But specifically within my life, anyone that thinks they're more insignificant than they are within my everyday and their connection to me, they might want to check it because someone who I felt a deep connection to, if I can let that go, then I can certainly let weaker connections go, can't I? And I already have. I prefer a smaller circle. But yeah, it's just I've got aspirations for the year. They're not necessarily as maybe as big as previous years. I'm not really sure. I think every year is important. So yeah, for me this year really is just improve my finances, I'm not asking to be a millionaire. I'm not asking for all that. I'm just saying improve my finances. As long as there's an improvement, I'm happy. It takes away some stresses and gives me some luxury. So that'd be nice for once. Um, it's going to be get this next book done, and I'm going to try and sort out this Irish citizenship. So I think that'd be a really productive year. I'm not asking for massive milestones here. It's easy to improve our finances. Just find steady work, steady income. The book that's going to come out anyway. As soon as I focus on it, it's done in 2 months. Within. So it's a given. It's already there. It just needs editing. So we know that's definitely coming. What's the other one? The citizenship, the Irish citizenship. That's gonna be a bit more technical. That's gonna have to me use my intelligence. Me to make sure you don't want to pay a fee and then lose the money for nothing. That's stupid. But they're literally my goals for the year. I've been always favouring a holiday every year, but I do like to go in spring. Unfortunately, finances and personal circumstances have made it where I couldn't go this year. And it's quite unfortunate. But again, hopefully next year, something I'll be able to. You never know. Maybe in the autumn or later in the year, I might be able to go on a holiday or something. But I'm not sure. I think by then, I'm not sure I really care. So I think maybe next year will be the new goal for the holiday and things like that. And we'll see, because everything's like a consequence of the previous year. Where are you at in your life? Is there a lot of room for elevation? Is there a lot of room maybe to... Because it's always going to be about like go, 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 go. It might be one year you just want to relax. So it might be a case of, I don't want to be productive this year. I don't want to focus on materialism. I don't want to focus on my finances. I just want freedom. So it might be one year you just say, I want to travel a lot more. Instead of I ain't just going to have one holiday. I'm going to have multiple holidays this year. It could be anything. And it's up to people how they live their life. But there'll always be people that judge. But it's not really for them to have an opinion on your life anyway, because it holds no weight. It makes no difference. And that's really what I wanted to get at, really, is that people need to stop obsessing about other people's lives, wishing for their downfall, when all their time and energy should be about improving their own life and not at the expense of other people. It's like, stop doing things to spite people, it's just stupid, because all you end up doing is spiting yourself. And that lack of investment in self is the reason you're stagnating anyway. So I don't stagnate. I suffer just like everybody else, but I don't sit still. It doesn't stay this way for long. It stays in periods. I'm just a very impatient person, and I'm very ambitious, and I'm very goal orientated. So like I could be suffering for a couple of months and it'll feel like a year to me, So then I do get really resentful and I get really frustrated just like everybody else, but I'm always pushing forward. And I don't look at other people and go, oh, I hope they get theirs. That doesn't mean nothing to me. It means nothing to me, other people. I don't see their suffering doesn't add any benefit to my life. So I don't wish for anyone's downfall. It's just if they're not benefiting my life, then I just want them to stay away from my life. It's easier that way, Let's just always focus on self. And that's not a selfish attitude. It's just something that people need to really do. Is just focus on your own life, and then I think you see the value of those around you. Because I think if you because there is a level of people might think it's selfish, but I don't think it is. I think it's actually really healthy, because if you keep people in your life who you don't really care about, or you don't really have a connection to, but you keep them as a safety net, you're wasting their time as well. You're stopping them from having connections that maybe are more valuable, because they have this false impression that the connection you have is significant. So it's something to think about, of course. But yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd talk about that really. I know I haven't really gone into too depth. I don't want to make too long a video on it. I just want people to really expand their own minds, look at their own life and think about who you've got in it, what decisions you're making. Do people only see the value in you when you've got something tangible, material? If you don't have those things, are you less significant to them? Do they wish for your downfall? Are they investing in you? All these little things, because effectively, don't keep yourself small to keep other people comfortable. It's a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. So yeah, always look to expand.